I'm Ralph. I have a lot to talk about. I wrote an article, and it may be insensitive, but nowadays you don't know what the hell the media is saying is true or not or what. It's all bullshit. We know that. So I wrote an article, but first I'm going to read a poem. It's called The Great Breakthrough. Break through the fear so others can help. Then you can help others empower themselves. Teach them to reject the temptation of the mind to fight against itself for an illusion stuck in time. Now let go of all fear, let the heart lead the mind, and when you look back you'll see you've left darkness behind. Okay, first, Charmella has two things that she wrote about the media, so she's going to read those, and then I'm going to read my article. Okay, this one's called The Media, Hey Media, the Joke's on You, by Charmella and Senier. Hey, the media says 2 news anchors just got killed. Is it fact or fiction? What's the latest prediction? I don't know anymore. Fuck the media whore. She's making me snore. Oh, what a bore. The media is attacking free speech again. When will this end? Now they are controlling what can and can't be shown because they think that they own our minds, but we see right through them because we are not blind. We get to choose what we do or don't believe, and we refuse to fall for any tricks up the media's sleeve. They expect us each to live life as a nervous wreck. Well, I'm not afraid. I came to this earth to bring positive change. And the first step to a positive future is conquering fear. And when we replace it with love, the dark disappears. I've had it up to here with the media and the confusion, conclusion, solution, illusion. They mix fact and fiction and make their own prediction. But they can talk themselves to death because we already have tuned them out and our consciousness has already risen. Okay. This one's called Blacking Out the Archons by Charmella and Senier. Who cares what the media has to say? The Archons will never persuade us into going their way. The positive future starts today because we have decided to pave our own way, and there's nothing the Archons can do to change our minds. We have left their system behind to crash and burn. Their agenda has taken a turn toward the destroyer, and no longer can get them out. They are over and done without a doubt. So the media really needs to shut their mouth because we already turned their lights out. Hello, I'm Ralph. Here is the article that I wrote about recent news happenings. The media has a new story to add to its many fairy tales. 2 news anchors have been shot and killed. So they say, but have they? Unless you are a witness of this, you cannot conclude a definitive yes or no. Take 9/11 for example. A whole charade of lies and innocents died in that episode. Then you have the Sandy Hook potential crisis actors that were seen in Sandy Hook and other fairy tale media hoaxes. Remember the Photoshop backpacks on the Boston bombing? More than one shooter reported at both. Then there was more than one shooter reported at both the James Holmes and Sandy Hook incidents. Then they ended up blaming it on a crazy lone wolf. They'd probably call me a crazy lone wolf for not buying their official stories. Many of us are sick of stories and lies. Now, after the supposed murder of 2 news anchors, free speech is being threatened. The band Disturbed is not allowed to use their video of news anchors exploding in their advertising. The show Mr. Robot about a hacker that works for Evil Corp, but is also secretly trying to shut them down, was canceled for the week. Perhaps the media is wanting to silence all of the entertainment so we will believe the latest news story. Maybe I am completely wrong, and 2 innocent anchors were murdered, but can you blame me? But can you blame us for questioning the validity of the media? If I am wrong, then I send my regards to the deceased and their families and friends. We have recently suffered a loss, and we know how it feels. Another thing that we came up with as an article, which is interesting, is Anchor and Archon both have the same letters. So that we found that. Okay. Here's a good one about death in the afterlife. Get over it. It's called Death in the Afterlife. Get over it, move on, stop crying. On earth we all experience dying. But remember that death is never the end. After death, the afterlife welcomes you in. And you will never want to leave, because the afterlife is our home. And earth is where we manifest on the journey we each take alone. Now, I got some good news with this here, an article from n5d.com. Okay, here we go. It's called Update, Stocks Plunging Again, Pluto and Capricorn. Right on the heels of a negative 358.4 loss yesterday. This is a while ago, but things are happening that is good, because we want this shit to fail because it's bullshit and it's unfair and the system is wrong, and we're trying, and we know that, well, let me read this article. Look for the Dow Jones to take another triple-digit beating today as the Nikkei lost almost 600 points overnight. What does this mean? The complete collapse is imminent, and all money is based on fiat currency, which is debt that can never be repaid. It's a system that was designed to fail, and we're seeing the collapse of it right now. Update August 23rd, 2015, 10:32 p.m. As predicted, the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped negative 530.94 points on Friday, August 21st, 2015, and lost over negative 1,000 points during the past week. The Nikkei is picking up where it left off last week and is currently down 623 points as of 10:32 p.m. on Sunday evening, August 23rd, 2015, despite futures being up right now. Look for another huge drop on Wall Street on Monday, August 24th, 2015, with a good chance of the nights being shut down for damage control. I've been talking about Pluto and Capricorn for a number of years now, and how these particular alignments reveal how history repeats itself time and time again. Right on schedule in 2008, when Pluto entered Capricorn, we saw a collapse of the banking system, with the exception of the too-big-to-fail jail banks. We have also seen revolutions all around the world, reflecting energies that created both the French and American revolutions in the 1600s, when Pluto was lost in Capricorn. These are not coincidences. Pluto is known as a destroyer, and it breaks down everything that is bad so it can be replaced with that which is good. For many people, Pluto in Capricorn represents the fabricated end times mentioned in the Bible. But for those who are closely paying attention, this is an amazing blessing, because Pluto will give us the opportunity to rebuild this planet in humanity's best interests. As this plays out, we'll continue to see a collapse of money, religion, and government. As these all collapse, we will see more whistleblowers coming out of the woodwork to expose the global corruption of these three factions. We're witnessing history being made. It all boils down to a matter of two perspectives. While many people will see this as a ploy for the institution of a new world order, others will see it as an opportunity to rebuild the planet in humanity's best interests. What's needed is a combination of activism as positive thoughts and intentions in order for this to usher us into a new age of peace, prosperity, and abundance for everyone. Signs to look for: a continued drop in all stock markets, the bursting of the housing bubble, an exponential rise in precious assets such as gold and silver, whistleblowers exposing crimes against humanity within finance, government, and religion. There remains a very good chance that we will take a step backwards before taking a huge leap forward. In other words, these corrupt systems need to collapse because they no longer serve humanity's best interests and cannot be rebuilt again, only to fail in the very near future. This allows humanity to replace these systems with programs that benefit humanity. In the short term, you may want to buy some food, some water, and extra food for when the system collapses, help your neighbors, and become teachers for those who do not understand what is happening. We're on the precipice of something truly amazing, but first we will witness the collapse of money, government, and religion before it occurs. It's important for all of us to come together, because once the bottom of the pyramid unites, all of us, the rest will collapse. It sounds scary, but it's got to happen because these systems are criminal. And that's why we're exposing them. Okay, also had a good thing from Infinity.com by Ray Prescott. The chemtrails was addressed at the United Nations, which is good news. I don't know when they're going to stop doing it, but I guess as mentioned is something to be grateful for. After years of denial of chemtrails by the U.S. government, the topic of chemtrails was finally discussed at the United Nations. Rosalind Peterson, California president and co-founder of the Agricultural Defense Coalition, addressed the United Nations regarding the dangers of chemtrails. Additionally, Peterson discussed man-made warming and its change in impact of agricultural crop production, along with the chemical detriments and toxic ingredients in the chemtrail composition. Chemtrails are a form of aerial dispersal of toxic chemicals which not only affect the ability of the sun to reach the planet, thus causing global warming, but also weakens our immunity systems through its cocktail of harmful ingredients such as barium, sulfate, strontium, and aluminum. A chemtrail will linger and expand in the sky, lasting up to 20 hours. Contrails, conversely, are quickly dissipating condensation trails. Through what Peterson calls global dimming, solar power is reduced by chemtrails, which reduces photosynthesis and in turn will ultimately impact agriculture. Peterson stated, if you take and put up to our skies the chemicals to reduce the amount of sunlight reaching the earth, you are going to begin to reduce crop production. Studies at the University of Illinois on crop production show reductions. Without the process of photosynthesis, whereby plants from direct sunlight gain energy to grow to produce crops, we're going to find ourselves, if we mitigate in that direction, impacting the crop production not only here in the United States but worldwide. One of the slides Peterson presented to the United Nations showed the acknowledgement of chemtrails by NASA, calling them persistent jet contrails. There's a slide right there. It says persistent jet contrails, according to NASA, October 2005, from man-made clouds that are trapping warmth in the atmosphere, exacerbating global warming, contribute to long-term changes in Earth's climate, and affect natural resources. While jets have been flying in the sky since the 1940s, it wasn't until recently that this new term of persistent jet contrails has arisen. Why? Because they didn't exist until the 1980s when chemtrails started to become prevalent. Through activism and researchers such as Dane Wigington, chemtrails are acknowledged by many people as a means for global warming and depopulation by the globalists. Pearson added, "The reason I am concerned for agriculture is that none of the experiments have any public oversight nor agricultural oversight. Our drinking water is impacted because the chemicals are now beginning to show up in our drinking water. These chemicals, according to Pearson, have shown up in the State Department of Health drinking water tests examined between 1970 and this year and include a spike in the amounts of barium, aluminum, strontium, magnesium, calcium, and manganese, all of which spiked at the same time in both California and Arizona." You need to keep speaking out against this crap. You need to stop. You just need to stop it. It's getting annoying, and people need to not put up with it anymore. Okay. Go close out with the poem. It's called "The Death of Wickedness." Physical manifestation is now in our favor, because together we put fear to death, and nothing they say can stand in our way as wickedness inhales its last breath. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week.